So, what's the cost of giving everything to your team when there's not much left for your own family? We'll be right back.
Hey, coach. Yes, you. You feeling burned out? Players not locked in? Parent drama wearing you down? Well, this is the place for you. The Coaches C.O.D.E podcast, where we help you lead with purpose, protect your peace, and build programs that last. So do me a favor, coach. Subscribe to this channel, hit that bell if you're on YouTube, and share this with another coach who's trying to do it the right way. Your journey just got a whole lot stronger. Welcome to the Coaches C.O.D.E podcast.
So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Coaches C.O.D.E podcast. Glad to be here with you again here on this Monday evening at 8 o'clock here Central Time down here in Louisiana. All right, and before we jump in and bring in our guest, I said a few weeks ago, I want to make sure that every time we open up with this declaration. So this is called the Bound by Purpose Declaration. There it is on the screen. I would love for you to read along with me. Why this is one of the things that we're doing for coaches. We want to make sure we understand what our calling is. And so this is a declaration that we'll make over ourselves each week. So go ahead and read along with me. I am bound by purpose. I don't need to have it all figured out to be effective. We're talking to ourselves. I don't need to be flawless to be faithful. I don't need to be perfect to be honest. I lead others not because I've arrived, but because I've been through the fire and I chose to grow. I will live by the Coaches C.O.D.E. I will coach with purpose. I will optimize team dynamics. I will drive success through well-being. I will empower through modeling. I am not overwhelmed. I am on assignment. I was built for this. I am still becoming. And even in the becoming, I'm enough. I will finish my assignment with joy. I will steward every moment and every life I touch. And when I fail, I will get back up through God's mercy. I am bound by purpose and I will lead like it. So welcome to the Coaches C.O.D.E podcast. Excited to have you all here tonight. Excited about the panel of guests that we have that's joining us. Last week we had us a ball and had a great conversation, and we want to jump right in. So tonight, what we're talking about is burnout. Okay, family, real life. Can coaches balance it all? You know, do we have the ability to balance all these things and avoid burnout? So I have three guests here. Two of them are already here. We're going to bring them in and introduce them. Y'all got a chance for those who were with us to meet them last week. And they so graciously decided to come in and to join me again today. So we're excited to have Coach Micah Hagans and also Coach Justin Collins. Coach Micah Hagans is coming from the big city of Kenner, Louisiana, down on the outskirts of NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana. He's a successful coach there down at Bonneville High School. And what's funny is this is my first year in 5A, back in 5A, and we might get a chance to meet each other in the playoffs. You never know. Yes. All right. And then also we have world-renowned Coach Justin Collins of the Bossier High School, one of the premier programs in the country. Seems like they win state every other year. He's joining us, man. Take it easy, brother. Take it easy. Look at it, and he is somebody who I get to call friend, you know, and I definitely don't have the, you know, that's not a word you take lightly in this day and time, man. What we do, somebody to call friend. So, man, we glad to have you, man. How y'all doing today, man? How's it going?
We're hanging in here, man. Doing the best we can. How about yourself?
Man, shoot, man. Same thing, man. Just ripping and running and moving around. That's it, bro. Just moving. Neither one of us are moving more than Coach Hagans, though, man. What you got going on down there, Coach? Go ahead and do your little promo right here.
Man, I just had day one of my basketball camp. I'm so tired. It's a great time, and the kids have a great time. My players, they're the coaches, they have a great time. But I'm old, man, and I get tired. It's 3 days of a lot of energy. About 85 kids, and man, they're getting the best out of me. So I'm here. I'm here. I'm here.
I love it, man. I love it, man.
Basketball camps, them basketball camps is a young man sport. You got to be young, man.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
You got that right. You got that right. God, dog. Man, well, look here, man. We're gonna jump right in and start this conversation, man. Last week, Coach Collins, we had a conversation last week and was talking about, kids and with profanity, disrespect, all these different things, and just talking about it. Coach Hagans had a really good post on social media that caught all of our attention, and we started a conversation there. And then Coach Collins said, "Man, I got something else we need to talk about." And so, man, we wanted to jump right into this conversation. The bottom line is there at the bottom of the screen: the hidden struggle of coaching. Can successful coaches really balance family burnout in real life? And the reason why we say successful coaches, remember, we got to define what that is, because for coaches, the only thing that people measure is wins and losses. That's all they see. But we get a chance, and one of the things that I even do in my book, the Coaches Code, the Complete Coach, is I try to frame from John Wooden's quote about what success is, and understanding what it is, man, based on the dynamics of your team. Everybody's not going to win state championships. Everybody's not going to win district championships. But there are coaches out here, man, that never competed for a state championship, but they have the best careers. I mean, they've impacted so many young men and women across the country to have great lives. But that's the question, man. Can successful coaches really balance family burnout in real life? Because we are taught that we are supposed to work out of scarcity. That's one of the things. There's never enough money. There's never enough resources. We got to pick up kids. We got to be uncle. We got to be psychiatrist. We got to be janitor and custodian. We got to be the principal. We got to be all these different things. But the question is, can successful coaches really balance all those things out? Is that a real thing, or do we just accept the fact that, hey, we're just always going to be tired and burned out? So I'm going to start off with this question right here, Coach Collins, man. So as a coach, man, with a demanding year-round schedule, how do you manage the emotional investment that you give to your players while still being present at home?
That's a good question, man. And I don't know if I have a great answer for it.
Okay.
You think you're doing a great job. You think you are, because you come home and everybody's happy and everybody's having they got all the other stuff going on. But I don't know if you can really honestly answer the question and say I'm doing a great job balancing everything out.
Yeah.
If you have kids involved, especially if your kids involved in the sports or the band or extra activities, and you got multiple kids. So and then in my situation, I'm not married. I've been married, but I'm not married, but I do have a lady. So everybody wants their time. Everybody wants their you got your parents, you got a lot of things to balance. So what I try to do when it's the off season, get as much time as I can with everybody, and just try to be present. In our sport, like you coaches, in teaching, you can't really bring your kids to school, but you can bring them to practice. You can have them around. That's one thing I would say is a positive. You can bring them around your team. They can travel with you. You pretty much bring them to work with you. You don't really get that in most careers. So that's been good for me, for my son, because he loves to be around the team. He loves to play basketball. He loves to interact with the kids. Now my daughter, you don't even. A lot of guys on the team don't even know I got a daughter, man. She don't even come to. She don't want to come to games. She don't want to do all that stuff. But I used to see Coach Helms in at the middle school games, because she was in the dance line and all that. So you just figure out their part, and you got to have good help, good assistant coaches. And, you might have to step away for a second and let them run it, so you can go do whatever, family things you got, not even issues, just things you got to be there for, especially with your kids when they do stuff outside of They have, you got to be present. They have things they do. They have things they want, they're involved in. So, and I don't think you're going to get it right 100% of the time. You just do the best you can. And are you going to be burnt out? Are you going to be tired? Burnt out is, you got to exercise, to take you some vitamins, do something, keep yourself, you know, and it helps when you win some games too. Because if you lose, you have some. It gets tough when you're on a losing streak, and you just, you're human. You're not really just the same,
Right.
Enthusiastic about things. You kind of down a little bit. So, and sometimes that situation helps when you with your kids. It helps you take things in perspective, man. You like, okay, bro. Okay, we lost a game or two, but am I really like losing in life? Like I'm really enjoying life, man. My kids are healthy, man, and small things. Your kids are doing well in school. Because, man, I just thought about it. Like my kids are healthy, man. My kids are. I haven't had really an issue with, things as far as just like small things. And it's not small things, but like, I mean, shoot, man. They're not sick. I mean, you not have to deal with some things that some people have to deal with, so I just try to keep it in perspective, man. We blessed to have kids is doing things the right way, healthy, man. Your lady supportive, your parents supportive. So I guess, to answer the question, are you gonna make everybody happy? Is everybody gonna be happy? I don't know, man. But you just do the best you can. You stick with who you are as a person, and normally you figure it out.
So this is what I'll say, because like, I think about it when you brought it up. I got these questions together, and so before Coach Hagans jump in here, this the question, Coach. Did you ever really think about that before I asked that question? Did you ever really even think about managing the emotional investment that you have between your players at school, and your kids at home? Like, have you really thought about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, because people don't realize, like, you're still, as a head coach, you still new at this as a head coach, even though you had opportunity to win at the highest level, inherit a program that embraces winning. But have you even had the time to even think about emotionally, making sure that you're able to give your players what they need, and then also your children? Yeah, have you even thought about it?
I haven't even really gave it much thought, honestly, because you just go. It's just like you don't even. You got to have a lot of time to sit there and think about things. A lot of times we, as men, we have a spouse or a lady that we vent to. So you get all that out, and you got to have a strong person on your side, because they get to hear all the frustration in you and all that. They know all the tough parts of of your career, your job, or whatever.
Right.
So you know what? I never thought about it in that aspect.
There you go.
I never thought about it. I remember you telling me, man, you need to take a break.
Yeah.
And I'm like, break?
Yeah.
I got a day or two. Man, we rolling. We getting ready for next year. You need to take your break, coach. And I'm like, man, I guess I'm still young in this thing.
I'm gonna interject in there with you saying that. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the average person will look at, he's won a title, he ain't won one. How he got something to tell him how to do? This ain't even about that. What I'm thinking about is Coach Collins being able to do this if you want to, for the next 10, 15, 20 years. That's the same way Coach Bryant was with me. You see what I'm saying? Coach Bryant was that way with me, but looking at me extending my career and still being able to compete at the highest level. You see what I'm saying? So Coach Hagans, we've actually, like I said, from a distance, I've been able to, experience, your transition into being a head coach, and then also getting married. You know what I'm saying? We've been able to see, because you're still fairly new as well, with leading your own program, but you already had a platform of people because you just were very vocal and you shared your journey through social media. So for you, had you even been able to think about the emotional investment that you give to your family, to your wife, you know what I'm saying, to the guys that you coach? Has that even been a thought? And if it has been a thought, how do you manage it? How do you consciously manage that?
Yeah, so I've always thought about it. My dad was a coach. I always knew I was going to coach most of my life. And so always watching coaching, studying coaching. I see a lot of college coaches step away, right? I got to step away from time with the family, burning out. So I was always wondering, like, all right, what does that look like? And why is that a thing? So I've always been super conscious about it, especially when I started coaching, not to mention being athletic director, adding that. So I'm pouring another set into a whole nother coaches instead of kids, being present for that. But it's emotionally it's draining. Like coach, you both of you guys know every day at practice somebody's dealing with something, and we are pouring all day every day into other people's kids for the most of the day, right? And it's never, you can't go a week without a mom and dad being hurt, something they breaking up, a kid, brother, something happened, he going to jail, something bad happened that we have to like be there for and give our emotional attention to, and then coming home and kind of being present for our families as well. But one thing I did to kind of balance it too is like I don't spend a ton of time doing anything else. Like you ain't catching me at the shooting pool on Friday nights.
Okay.
Like I know I spend so much time at basketball. When I'm not, I'm with my family. Like that's the two things. And I told my wife, we talked about this about a week ago. I said I wanted to be a little bit more present with like some of my friends because I'm literally like when I get a day off, I want my family. Like I don't do stuff outside of that because I know I give up so much time to what I'm doing. And also too, like my family has been like my wife at the concession stands. Like Coach Collins was saying, like bringing your family around. My wife at the concession stand. My mom sit behind us at every game. Like my family is super entrenched in what I'm doing. So my family is like a part of what we are. Like the seasons, they're a part of it. Like they know the kids just as well as I do. So that does help when your partner is like, I want to be a part of this journey with you because now you know what I'm saying? It's not separated. And I pray that it continues to be that close because when they're invested in your Final Four runs, like I remember her being on the bus when we first met, going to the top 28, having her on the bus, and like that was a real experience. So keeping them around kind of helps it, but you do have to be super conscious about at home, make sure home's taken care of, make sure that you're at least your kids are around. My college coach always brought his son around. That's kind of also why I wanted to coach. I love seeing little Arthur at the practice. I'm like, man, when I'm a coach, I want my son and my daughter next to me. Right. Just like Coach Collins said. And I think that's the biggest, because I remember I'm like, man, like I can't wait for that feeling. Like my son knowing all of the kids' names and just, they calling them big brothers. Like I love that part of it. And like similar to Coach Collins, my daughter is like, where the cheerleaders at? When she comes to the game, she don't want to be around my boys. She want to be a little cheerleader. But I just had a son, so I can't wait to see what that looks like for him. Like, is he gonna want to be on the bench behind me? Is he going, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to keep him in wrath. But as everybody here said, it's really, really hard, and we don't know if we're doing it right.
Right. Well, so that's the thing that I like. You said you were able to come up in an environment with your dad being a coach, so it was something you were able to think about. But at the same time, you also are saying too that because you spend so much time and your family's kind of with you, that means to me it sounds like that basketball and your family are your priorities.
Yeah.
And everything that I do is surrounded by them. Like I said, you have to be intentional about saying, well, man, I'm going to spend some time with my friends. But for you, you feel successful, you feel fulfilled if you with your family and you around basketball. You good.
Yeah,
so, I mean, and so that's the thing about it too. It's knowing what to prioritize in your life, which keeps you really from experience. So even when we gonna get tired because we give it so much, but you don't feel burned out because you got the people around you that you care about and love. It's the same thing for you, Coach Collins. So you're not really getting to the point of burnout because I'm around the people I want to be around. You see what I'm saying? So it gives you a different frame to put it in when you're looking at what you consider to be success for you and what makes it comfortable. Here was the next question for you right there. So I like that. Thank y'all for that. So, Coach Collins, you've been able to build a championship program, and to be in a situation where winning is a priority. How has success changed your day-to-day balance with family time and for yourself? Like, did you see something change after you won as a head coach, or did you is it still kind of business as usual? Everything kind of still the same?
Well, I didn't
Oh
build a
man, come
program.
on now, come on now. You done put your stamp on it now. You done put your stamp on it.
Hey, mess it up. But man, that's a good question because I'm gonna be honest. My first year, I was going through a divorce.
Okay.
So but it was smooth. I guess it was smooth to me. Smooth there, I mean, I don't know. But it just seemed I mean, we had a trouble. But when you had a program that's used to having success and expect success, it's a little more challenging. But I mean, that's part of it, man. We all competitors, and our competitive nature, kicks in. But I mean, that's tough, man, because you want to make everybody happy. I'm being honest with you. You're not gonna make everybody happy, but you want to please everybody in every way, and it's even home. And sometimes you're guilty of taking on problems that you might not can solve. You know what I mean? Taking somebody else's issues on your plate, and you just got to be careful with that. Kind of balance that, and know what you can control, what you can control. You can't control what everybody say. You can't control, some things, but you can control how you respond and how you act and how you handle or deal with success and not having success. Like when you expect it to win and you don't win at their timing, and how you deal with that. That's when you go back to your faith and who you are as a person, and you just keep sticking to you stay the course. That's what I always say. Stay the course, man. And you got to have your own time. You got to have your own vision, your own, like, what's going on. You got to start almost saying, I'm in this position for a reason, and I know what it takes. I know who I am. I know what the program needs. Man, you might have to take a step back for a second. Man, I'm telling you, it's nothing better than having that person you can talk to that knows, like that. And it ain't gotta always be a spouse. I ain't saying it gotta be a spouse, but it has to be someone in your life that knows that's familiar with what you're going through on a daily basis, and what you believe in, what you're trying to do, what you want to do. And but that's tough, man, because I never thought about that.
Make you think tonight.
I never thought about it. I never thought like, I don't never think about like wins and losses. Like, well, what's your definition of wins and losses? Is it a win on the court, or is it a win at home? Coach Bryant, the late great Coach Bryant, used to always say, man, you winners in life. Are you winning in life? We missing the mark on everybody's too caught up on winning ball games and winning this and that, and just to sell you wins and losses, and we didn't win this and we didn't. Well, you're winning in life. Or your kids, how your kids conducted themselves at school, outside of school. How your own kids conduct themselves at school, outside of school. All this stuff, man. But man, you gotta be thinking, man. I probably need to do a better job.
Hey, but that's what we're doing here. You gotta think about it right now. I promise y'all, by us having the conversation openly, and we sparking these thoughts right now, you know what I'm saying? There's somebody else that missed out on that as well. That's why we got to have mentorship. We got to have relationships and peer relationships. Like Coach Hagans said, we just learned your father was a coach. So I know you had some conversations, even from the stuff your dad might not have got right. I guarantee your dad told you, didn't it? Hey, son, I should have did this.
Absolutely.
Can you give us a piece of that, of what some things that your father, who was a coach, was able to share with you so that you can get have perspective on how to lay your life out where you're not, like I said, we're going to get tired now because we're humans, but we're talking about burned out. People are quitting this profession. Great coaches are leaving.
Yes.
Great coaches are leaving.
Yes.
Like, not because it's retirement time. People are leaving and going to other professions because of the stuff that we got to deal with. Like, that's a real thing. And that's the audience that we want to grab. You know, the book I wrote, The Complete Coach, like, it's not about X's and O's, man. It's about prioritizing your life, setting things up and putting things in order so that you can enjoy it. Because we doing this for fun. Like, this is fun. You know what I'm saying? So give us a nugget or two of something that your father might have shared. As a matter of fact, tell us where your father coached at as well. And then tell us a couple of things that he might have shared with you with telling you, hey, son, don't let coaching kill you.
Yeah. So my dad was the local playground coach rec his whole life, right? Coach, mentor hundreds of kids. If you played sports growing up into high school, my dad coached you. And all my, it's funny because my dad always would say before he passed, he would always say, man, you took my legacy and what I done, it just took it to another level. But seeing one thing I learned from my dad, like seeing the impact he had on people. Like, we had so many kids always at our house. My dad was just like a father to hundreds of kids. And going off a little bit what Coach Collins said is, you know, what is your definition of winning? And we got people leaving the profession, as you say, but now don't let other people put their expectations on you or what they think your program should look like or winning should look like. What does it look like for you? And part of it is who are you as a person? What do you stand on? Because people are gonna put it on you. You got to win a state championship. And if you don't win one every year, you can't coach. You don't know what you're doing. All it does is put so much stress on you. You know what I'm saying? They'll have you second guessing and questioning yourself. As you say, man, sometimes you got to take a step back and be like, hold up, bro. Let me talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Who's watching your program? Like, you know, Coach Collins, he may take a step and be like, man, what I'm doing? I see your program from afar. If I talk to you, hey, boy, you're doing a good job. Other people going to always say what they have to say. You know, same thing with Coach Hamilton, any other coach. Man, take a step back sometimes and talk to other people because you see it, you know what you're trying to do, but then finding somebody that you trust and understand what you're trying to do and who's doing what you're doing, having those real conversations and be like, look, man, I'm the outside noise is getting to me because it's going to get to you at some point, right? It's just a matter of fact of how long it gets to you and do you let it affect you? It's going to get to you. Parents are going to get to you because you're going to be like, man, we lost 3 in a row. This man, I might not. Nah. All right, get there for a second. Talk to somebody. Get yourself out of you doing the right thing. You have the job for a reason. You've been hired for a reason. You're the most qualified person for a reason. And whoever in this spot going to have the same challenges you're going through. And they're going to say you can't coach. Whoever in this spot, people going to say you can't coach. So this spot is coming with you don't know what you're doing if you don't win a state championship. So understand what's important.
Hey, look, it is normally the people who ain't coaching.
That's it. That's it. Like, man, you
ain't even in the game.
You don't know what you never coached before. You know anything about coaching, but you're gonna come put your expectations on me. I know who I am. I know why I'm doing it. And once you have that, and like you confident in what you are, man, you don't let that stuff. Like coaches who thinking about leaving because of outside noise and pressure, man, get back to your bubble. Get a circle of people you trust and that you love, and stay within your bubble. And let that noise be noise. Because guess what? It's never going anywhere. It's gonna be there your entire career. And if you let it affect you to that point, you know we're losing.
Man, the bottom line is, and that's good stuff there, Coach. Man, the bottom line is you gotta be focused on what it is you know, why you say you're doing what you do. We say that, but do we really take time to think about that when the pressure comes and when just, you know, these different situations pop up? And the bottom line is, man, if you can stay focused on that, which is a hard thing to do, man, you'll be okay. And it's important for us to say that. You know, I've been in it for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? You've been around it most of your life. You know, pretty much a new head coach over the last, how long has it been? Like 4 or 5 years?
I'm going on year 6. 15 total, 6 the head.
Yep, 6 as a head coach. And Coach Collins, going year 4 as a head?
It's going to be year 4. And I think I've been at Bojan 9.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and when you slid over from assistant coach to head coach, you not only did you kind of get an idea of what to do, you got an idea of what not to do.
What not?
Coach, you look at Coach Bohannon. When his boys got older, he's like, man, you know what? Hey, now he coaching his boy. He's still coaching, but he's spending time with. He decided, let me walk away. I'm gonna walk away from this. My kids are involved in sports, and I'm gonna coach my kids. You know what I'm saying? And he's being fulfilled. You know, he's being successful at that. And he's okay with that. And like I said, it's something that we gotta say, man. We gotta understand, like, what in the world are we doing this for? Are we doing this for people to pat us on the back? Because I can admit to y'all, early on, because of insecurity issues, I was coaching to show people I could coach, and it drove me nuts. It drove me crazy because of my own personal insecurity. So what that meant, I needed to get some help. Like, I didn't know I was insecure, but I had to be in a position to learn that I was. Like at the church I go to, we have men's classes, marriage classes, all this stuff here. So I'm getting introduced to things about myself that I didn't even know until I was around somebody to show me, look, dude, this is an issue. And when I dealt with those things, then I saw, as I got better as a person, then I saw the wind start to power. You see what I'm saying? Because Coach Hagans knows I didn't have loaded talent. I didn't have a lot of talent. It was sheer character. We had character. We had thick skin. The kids wanted me to coach them hard, but they needed me to be the best version of myself. And when I was broken and scarred as a person myself, I couldn't give them the best part of me because I didn't know who I was outside of being an insecure person. Yeah. And so when I became secure and I figured out who I was as a coach and did that, we took off. And nobody can go back and say he had all these top players and all that. We didn't, coach. We just was some dogs. And we worked hard and we stayed focused on the identity that we had. Here goes next question for y'all. And so for you, Coach Hagans, now your program is high profile. It is. Like, you out there, bro. Like, you know. And I remember when you did that drill, the drill where everybody was having the finishing drill. Got real hot.
With the wall up drill, yeah.
The wall up got hot, man. We was doing it at Sitting there. And so you have a high profile program. So that means you have a staff with you. Okay. I don't know if they're younger or older than you, but what boundaries have you had to set to protect your peace and purpose when you talk about dealing with your staff? Like, have you had to consciously kind of put up some boundaries even with them to let them know where to step and where not to step?
Yeah, it's crazy because one of my top assistant is a guy I grew up playing basketball with, really good friends. One of my other assistants, he just got a head coaching job at another school, which is tremendous. And then the guy probably the closest to the program, Coach Mo, who's been at the bottom for 30 years, has always been an assistant. He's like call him my OG. He always tell me what I need to hear, and he don't sugarcoat it. But we have a lot of coaches meetings. We meet every day before practice. We meet every year. And I have to let them know, man, it's what we're going to tolerate as a staff, what we're not going to tolerate as a staff, what's important to us, what's not important to us, what y'all should handle that don't involve me, you know. Okay. That's the space I want to give them, you know, letting them know we always want to back the brand and say what I'm saying and say the thing that's important to be. But also, you guys have a platform where you can stand in the gap in some place. I don't have to answer every question. I don't have to have all these meetings. You having these conversations. I don't talk to parents after games and stuff like that anymore. I go to my office. I go to my family. Opportunities that they can have conversations with, but long as they, you know, understanding that loyalty is very important to me. And you have staffs that can be challenging. I talked to y'all last week about talking to the players about current events and what things happen. I talk to my coaches as well. Look at these coaches, look at this staff, and look at stuff. I don't ever want that to be us. So I think the more dialogue you have about everything and upfront communication, you save a lot of issues on the back end. Like, they know exactly where I stand with loyalty. They know exactly where I stand in. Hey, this is what I expect when it comes to parents, to come with the players, the discipline. And I think when you have those conversations on the front end, it just saves you on the back.
That's good. I like that. So you just go ahead and, like I said, just open conversation. And now you have the ability to have hindsight. So you know, man, this happened, that happened. So now I can go ahead and prep my guys to understand what these boundaries are right now. Coach, what about you? Y'all staff, y'all been together for a while, man, because y'all were all assistants together at one point, and then you slid over to head coach. So what about you? Has anything changed when it comes down to the boundaries you had to set with your staff in order for you to make sure that you're protecting your peace? You know what I'm
saying? Well, the good thing is we're friends outside of the coaching. That helps a lot. Like those conversations, you want to get lunch and dinner and whatever, just hanging out, watching the game. I mean, Coach right here. He's here right now. You know what I'm saying? He's sitting there watching.
What's up, Rob?
Watching TV. So it's
what up, boy?
What's up?
We chill, man. And it's like they kind of already know what I'm gonna say before I even say it. And it's becoming, and so that makes it, man. And that's I don't take that for granted. You know what I'm saying? Because like for your instance, Coach, Hamilton, you start a new program, you come into a new program, so you got new assistants, you got new staff. So now you gotta they gotta know you. You gotta set your boundaries with them. And my fortunate, and a lot of my situations have been fortunate, man. They know me, and I'm making very loud and clear where I stand with a lot of things.
Yeah.
And so it's like I already know what Coach gonna do before he even say something. So, and I start stepping. I'm like, man, they already. Well, look at that, man. You saying the words before I say it, or you doing this stuff before I even ask?
Yeah.
Or, man, that makes it. I mean, that makes your job so much easier, man. I mean, they know my kids,
right?
You know, they call my kids uncle. I mean, my kids call them uncle, nephew, and they call them nephew. They know my life, like they know everything about. So it's man, I'm just fortunate, you know, and everybody don't have it. Like, a lot of them, like even with me when I got to Bossier, Coach Bo brought me to Bossier High. We went to high school together. We wasn't the best of friends, but we played together on the same high school team. So, you know, it's just been in Coach Williams, Jeremiah, my older brother and him grew up together. So I've been knowing him since I was. So it's just like I've been blessed, man. I ain't gonna lie. I just with that scenario, and I would encourage anybody, if you're gonna get a staff, you know, you might have to get to know somebody. I would encourage you to get people you know, if you got that option, if you got that option, and if you don't, you just gotta, you know, maybe, you know, just kind of have these come to, you know, these talks and just sit down and eat somewhere and just say, look here, man, you know, what type of person are you, man? You know what?
Just gotta know.
You don't know
those things gotta align, man. You like your beliefs and
you know, do you take care of your kids, man? And when your kids,
I never see your kids. Yeah, everything gotta align.
Yeah, you know, like, where your kids at, man? You got kids? Oh, you do? Yeah. Where they at? You know, you gotta have them like, man, why you know what I'm saying? Are you married? If you're not, you know, you know, you just gotta have them, man. I mean, and that's just being a man. You know, because you won't like-minded people around you, and like you say, the lifestyle. You are what your lifestyle is, man. I don't care what you say. You can sugarcoat all you want to. Your lifestyle says a lot about you, what you do daily, and how you conduct yourself. That says a lot about you. And the kids see it. They know. They know if you strolling in I'm just gonna be honest. You strolling in school in class, you know, in school late, and you kind of, you know, stumbling a little bit. They know. Or you listen that. They know. Yeah, they know. So you can only fake it for so long if you're faking it. You know, so you know, they know if you go to church, and they know if you're a godly man. They know if you got different women in and out, you know, whatever case. They know if your kids are not being properly taken care of in a way that they would.
Yeah, you right, man. I mean, you absolutely right. But one of the things y'all was saying earlier, one of the first conversations I have, you know, is like, man, we got to speak the same language. Like, it can't be. It cannot be. You know, I'm saying one thing, you saying another. Our terminology has to be the same. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, you have situations where sometimes I want to believe a person don't mean any harm, but they can say things that's detrimental to you as the head to make themselves look like they know more than the head coach. That's a reality there. Now we can go ahead and get that.
Right.
That does happen. I went to sitting
Yeah.
there with Coach Dorsey, man, for like the first month. Y'all can ask him, man. I was quiet. I wasn't barely saying. He was like, Coach, you can jump in at any time. I was like, man, I'm trying to make sure I'm talking just like you, like my perspective, but making sure terminology, the defensive reads, offensive cuts, whatever. Then the personality of the team. I'm trying to get a feel for that as an assistant coach because I don't want one player to think that I'm against Coach Dorsey or I'm trying to make myself look like I know more than him. No, sir. This is his show. And what I'm there to do is enhance that. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to make sure that those conversations are had. And that's actually another conversation. I won't jump in that too deep. But that is a boundary. The boundary is making sure that we are talking the same and we on the same mission. Because man, if there's any schism between the staff, you talk about tearing your team up, just tear it up. So man, they got to make sure.
Hey, listen. And I know we ain't get to that. We probably about to go to that topic, but man, I think being an assistant for the first 10 years helped me become a good head coach. You know what I'm saying? I think, man, I've seen an assistant coach have a mixtape. Like the kids have a mixtape. Like I've seen a coach have a video guy do a mixtape on him. I'm not lying about. I'm dead serious. And it was just like last year or the year before. And you didn't even know he was a head coach. Like that, you would think he was the head coach. I just knew he was the assistant coach. But he had a mixtape and found. I'm like, man, you like we sending so many signals. And it's hard in today's time where everything is social media highlight, you promote your brand, all of this stuff is a real thing. So people want to put themselves out there, but at the end of the day, man, when it's somebody else's program, your job is, as you just said, coach, enhance that man's program. How are you enhancing the program if you have a mixtape of you coaching, calling out signs?
You wait till you get your own program before you start doing all that.
Bro, you see my face. You just
man, listen, I'm telling you, somebody sent it to me. I'm like, man, this is insane. But in today's society, it's hard as head coaches to, you know what I'm saying? Like that's a real thing. You hire somebody, they want, hey, listen, I want you to have your own identity, your own personality, but everything is under my vision. Like I want to be talking the same. We need to be on the same page because parents, they're gonna find ways to separate us. Yes. And if we're not strong at the core, they're gonna find ways to separate us. And they're gonna, you're gonna tear your team apart. You're gonna tear your program apart. You gotta be on the same page. And if your assistants aren't loyal and strong, you're gonna be in a world of trouble. That's why I like Coach C.O.D.E, man. Jeremy, that's my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like Coach Mo, that's my friend. Hey, look, let's keep it there first. Man, don't let nobody tell us against each other, and let's keep it together. You know what I'm saying? Because it happened. I didn't seen it, but I done seen staffs, and
bro, come on, man. You know what? We gonna pick up on that part of that conversation on another.
Man, that's
crazy.
You see, look, man, it's like, like now, like. Okay, you want you get even let's talk real life now too about even just fundraising, like things I've seen as an assistant. I did not see as a head coach. Now I did not know all the stuff you had to do. I didn't know that you had to fundraise, and if you ain't got no money and nobody gives you the money, you gotta go out there in bed. I ain't know that. I thought maybe you can go to you know what I'm saying? You're like, hey, you can put a little bit in the account. And I didn't know everything. It's like you running your own business.
Yes, it is.
Now you ain't even in your own business. And it's like, okay, didn't know. So sometimes if you want to be you want to be the head, Let me give you one of these responsibilities. Go out here and beg for this money, man. Since you
Man,
that's what I told him. If you want a mixtape, once you mixtape this dog, your fundraiser for
real.
if you can help.
Because you view it differently when you view it differently when you become the head. You do, and I wish like people could bounce back and forth so you could see it, and it'll make you be a better assistant too. Like as an assistant coach, I'm like, oh, we just get shoes, we just get new gear. Not realizing, hey, we got to fundraise for that. We got to have money in the account to budget for all that. The school, they don't give us any money. So we start from scratch. We got to fundraise to get money to buy all of these things. And you just, as an assistant, you just like, man, I want this, this, and this, and this. We need this. Let's go to Florida. Hey, boy, we fundraising. Well, you need to be my champion fundraiser if you want to go to Florida because it's going to cost us money.
Now, see, everybody don't feel that.
Yeah.
Everybody don't feel that. You know, there are states and they school districts where they provide budgets. And I'm telling you, look, I tried to run. I tried to see if I can go get in one of them situations. Because, man, but that's not everybody's reality, man. But y'all head on. Let me ask y'all this question, man. Have you ever caught yourself coaching on empty? Like when you was just out of it? Like, have you ever caught yourself? And if you did, how did you handle that? You know, if you caught yourself like just running on empty and you were coaching, still going, doing all the duties. Have y'all ever caught yourself doing that?
Well, you know, if you catch yourself, a lot of times you got your, like you say, your friends, your assistants, man, they see you every day. Or you got people around your program that say, hey, man, you look like you're just not there. When you sitting down, and Coach Robert always say, Coach Sampson, Kevin Sampson say, if the coach is sitting out all the time, he's lazy. If the head coach is sitting out, he's lazy. So if you're like, man, you tired. So if you tired or you burnt out, I mean, I really believe that's when you gotta have your assistant. You gotta have your people on your team, man, and say, man, can you, take over today or tomorrow, whatever the case may be. You want to make it where your program can be ran if you're not even there. Or you can, because y'all on the same accord. Y'all on this one island, and y'all speaking the same language. So if you're not even there, it should be the same. Everything should go the same. If you have that group with you, your assistants there with you. But I mean, you're gonna have days. I don't care. You human. You're gonna have a headache. Your kids getting, some of you guys on your team may be getting in trouble in school. Then you go, your son getting in trouble, and then your daughter got this funding, and you're like, man, I ain't got no money. And then you gotta have this, and then you gotta have that, and you just done for it that day. Like, man, I got too much. Like, I gotta, and hey, coach, take care of this today, man. I gotta go run do this. And then I done learned. I started talking to my team. Hey, man, coach retired, man. I'm gonna tell you why. This is what was going on. Like, we deal with this, like, man, real life, man. Like, man, man, my son get him a nerve, man. I'm telling you, hey, man, we deal with this stuff too as humans, as men.
See, I like that.
So
I like that.
I need to have a mental health day.
But look at the direction you just went in. It goes back to what Coach Hagans said last week and this week. Conversations about current events, but the other thing is about real life. Because the bottom line is, your kids love you, but there's certain things about you they're not going to care about until you bring it to their attention. They don't care. All they know is we want coach here. Yeah. But if you turn around and you stop and say, look, y'all, hey, let me holler at y'all right quick. Hey, man, I got such and such going on, man. Coach, I'm a little out of it. I'm a little out of it, man. And I tell them, man, hey, y'all need to pray for your boy. I'm telling you, got a lot going on, between y'all and church and home and everything. And I want to give y'all my best, but hey, let's. And then sometimes we'll change the practice. Hey, let's play some games or something. We'll do something different. Like, I'm serious. But the killing part about it is people always ask, how do you get your teams to play so hard? That's one of them. Every day ain't a work day. Some days are, let's get in here, let's play some fun games. Whatever it is, we'll make up whatever. You know what I'm saying? That ain't even basketball related. And but what that does is it makes you human. guys, I know y'all tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm showing them, hey man, I'm a little tired. I know we got work we need to do, but hey, but you turn around that next game, they go out there and run through the wall for you, all because you admitted coach is empty right now. I'm empty right now, man. You see what I'm saying? And so, Coach Hagans, you shaking your head. You have some days like that sometimes.
Yeah, and that's why it's important to show you, like, be vulnerable with your kids. There's times where, like, I show them a lot of my life. Like, if I'm bringing one of them home, I gotta make it stop by my mom. Right? Come inside with me when I go pick up my daughter from my mom. I want them to see those interactions. The more interactions they see me with different situations, they're like, man, coach got a lot on his plate. So sometimes coach gonna be tired. When some of the AD stuff, I got a big old office, man. And like they sit in there, these coaches come in with all these. I'm like, now y'all done been in this office for 30 minutes. Y'all done seen 20 different people come in this office with things they need from me, and we ain't even started basketball practice yet. So my players, they know what I go through. So like, if I am having a day where I'm like, well, I need to be filled up. You know what I'm saying? They not like, man, coach lazy or coach. Man, coach got a lot going on. And that's when you see my group like band together, you know, just to protect me, because they do know I expose them to just about everything that's on that campus, man. Look, they know, they see it.
That's good.
And also, too, I think one thing we haven't talked about too is like, you know, we all pouring so much. Our cup gotta be full, you know. So like men of faith, like I brought my kids to church, they know I'm in church, and like we gotta use that time too to like, you know, get spiritually filled up, because when we do run out, when we burn out, it's probably a lot of the times because we forgot what we're doing while we're doing it. Like we're doing it to help these kids become better young men. When you think about that, and that's the forefront. If you're running empty, you got a lot of other holes in your cup. Winning, getting kids like think about all these little things that's tearing into your cup. That little bitty streams of water coming out, and you wonder like, damn, I'm getting on empty fast. Yeah, you worried about a lot of other stuff. What's the real reason why you decided to start coaching? You wanted to help shape these young men. And when you at the core of that, it take a long time to burn out from that. Yeah. But we competitors. Most of us play college basketball. I won't win. I won't win and do that. You know, but just don't let that be the forefront, because that's a big hole. The winning, that's a big knife cutting through your water, and that's all your water gushing out. Hey, slow it down. You know what I'm saying? Get filled up. Be in the word. Get with your pastor. Just go to church. Be in church with your family. You know what I'm saying? But don't let people be cutting into your cup, was poking into, because you trying to fill them up. I'm here to impact these young men, right? Yeah. So whenever my cup get full, I need to go over here and get it filled up. Whether it's my family, probably it's with your church. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man of God, it's with the church, man, get your cup filled up, and then remember why you do what you do. That's the most important thing, because you'll burn out real slow if it's really just about the kids. You're not gonna burn out as fast.
That's good. I love that you went in that direction, because now for me, after 20 years of trying to make sure that I don't go too far off with ministry from a standpoint of preaching Jesus, because in public school, all it takes is one person.
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah, they're talking about Jesus. And we can now. I'm going to a private school now. Christian Academy. I get to preach Jesus.
Yeah.
And I ain't getting no trouble for it. Yeah. And I feel like my best days of coaching are ahead of me, because what I believe and what I try to live out as best as I can, I get to lead out with that as a coach. And so I'm looking forward to that, because that was actually a pressure in the back of my mind in public school, was that, man, if I go too far, I can lose my job. That's me. That ain't everybody's situation, but that's just something I was conscious of. And the thing about it is that that's actually the forefront of everything for me. And Jeremiah Williams was the one, Coach Collins, that he told me, he said, remember, it's a scripture that says, he that wins souls is wise. He's like, man, when you share, just say, instead of saying such and such scripture, just say, hey, it's this book I read. And in this book, this is one of the stories in the book. I was like, well, dang, it made life just that much little easier right there. But I'm looking forward to being in a situation where I can preach Christ, and there's no penalty for that. You know what I'm saying? And it ups the accountability in my life as well, to make sure that I'm living out that life as well if I'm going to be teaching it. You see what I'm saying? So I'm looking forward to that. I really am. That's good, man. I love that.
Man. That's good because you gotta ask yourself this every couple months. Am I the person I'm preaching our guys to be? Like, am I really the person that I'm preaching and trying to teach these guys to be? If I'm not, I gotta check myself. Now you gotta hold yourself accountable,
right?
And that's not easy. That's not easy,
right?
And every once in a while you gotta ask yourself, even if you're winning or not winning, whatever the case may be, you be like, man, am I the guy that am I that person? Because if you're not, to me, you're fraud. You're fraud.
And that's a whole nother pressure, right? So think about that. Like, we look at pastors, right? The pressure they have to not be perfect, right? But to do everything close to perfect. As coaches, it's similar. Like, these 25 boys look at me like, man, you failed. Like, you're not supposed to fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, you struggle on a bench press when you're not supposed. Everything you do is to them. You can do no wrong. Yeah, I share with them a lot, like, but I also share like moments of like, hey, I fell short right here, fellas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, my mom got me today. Call them, I fell short, and kind of like humanize myself with them because I don't want them to see me as this person because I'm gonna fall short. I'm gonna make mistakes. I don't want them to see me like, man, Coach Micah can't do nothing wrong, boy. And I let them know, hey, boy, I made a mistake. I ain't do this right, man. I got in trouble at school. I shouldn't have done that. Like, just things that brings everything back to them when they see Coach Micah. He a regular person. You know what I'm saying? I'm leading y'all, but like Coach Collins said, I do want them to be like, hey, am I the person? I want y'all to be not like me, but am I walking in a sense like y'all are going to be great young men if y'all following the steps and go beyond me? Y'all going to be great young men.
That's good, man. Yeah, I like that. Coach Collins, you hit it on the head. And this is the other part. I've started saying this. You don't have to be perfect to be honest.
Yeah.
You don't have to be perfect to be honest. It's best to just go ahead with some stuff. And we ain't telling you to spill all your beans to the kids, you know what I'm saying? But because some of this stuff, some coaches don't even understand some of the issues that they deal with some of the kids because those kids know their nightlife. They know it.
Yeah.
They name out there in the street. You won't be honest now. Your name out there in the street and the kids know that you're trying to get them to do things a certain way, and they know that something ain't right with you. They know I'm telling you, man, these kids see right through us, bro.
They got social media, boy. They see you, they kicking it the Friday night. Man, don't use that line dancing. Stop watching social media, boy.
I'm telling you, man, but I love you with that. I love you went in that direction, man. And that's why I said what I said. You ain't got to be perfect to be honest, man. But there's got to be a level of transparency there.
Yes.
Like Coach Hagans says, that letting them know I'm a human being. And one of the things I do too to help with the boundaries and balancing things out, like you said, man, with the kids. Hey guys, I done cut practices. And look, I'm going home. Go spend some time with my son. And I'll say to them, hey, go home, man. Tell your mom you love her. You know what I'm saying? Hey, go home, man. See if it's something that needs help around the house. Like, I would say those things to them. And it ain't got to be no long, drawn-out speeches. Hey, man, when you go home, man, make sure your mama car wash. You know, if your pop's at home, ask him, do he need help with something? And it's like you're throwing this stuff out here and making them think about stuff that they wouldn't think about on their own. And you ain't trying to make them do it. You just throw it out there and just say, but at the same time, you saving yourself. Because like, man, hey guys, we're going to cut it, man. Great practice. Y'all worked hard today. Man, most important thing, we need to get some rest. Hey, y'all go home, man, get some rest. Eat real good. Make sure you go to bed. Y'all check on each other. Make sure you go to bed, man. We got a big game coming tomorrow or in 2 nights. So, man, we'll kind of let y'all have a break so y'all can stay fresh. And you're throwing this stuff out here, but you're taking care of you too. You know what I'm saying?
Look, that makes it, man. I know my son watch them boys my son, I tell him, man, y'all be careful, man, what y'all do, because my son watch y'all every day. He really, he ain't gonna say this, but he really look up to y'all. He goes on YouTube and look up videos of y'all. Y'all don't even know this. So some of the stuff that y'all are doing, like even when he's playing in his little little game or whatever, or he's playing in his basketball game, he started doing things like our guys doing. He do like clapping his hands, let's go, or he'll be on some talking to the ref. I'm like, man, where you getting this stuff from? But he watching the things that you guys are doing.
Yes.
He watching every game.
Yes.
And they was like, really? I said, man, I'm telling you, man. Y'all don't. I said, man, y'all are like his heroes. You know what I mean? He watch everything. Good and
I love that. I love it.
Hey, man. I know one time he had an attitude, got something like a tick or something. I said, man, my son disappointed in you, bro. He really mad at you. Because he thought highly of you and you over here. And he was like, for real? I said, man, he mad. Like, he don't even want to talk to you. So you might go give him a handshake. He might walk away. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. And look, like, a quick thing to that. When I was in college, talking about Arthur, my coach's son, I looked up for my coach. And his son always came to the dorms with us, always came to practice. Man, we ain't see Arthur for about 3 days one time. I said, Coach, we ain't bring Arthur. What's going on? Man, let me tell y'all something. This is my coach told me. Let me tell y'all something. Man, my son been walking around the house with his pants sagging, man. He get that from y'all. So Arthur can't come around here. Arthur can't come around y'all no more because y'all get my son bad habit. Y'all put y'all pants up, my son can come back around you. I was like, man, we ain't realize the impact. Man, we started putting our pants and we wanted the dude to come back around us. So we walking out with our pants up. He was like, man, my son is taking on what y'all doing. That's just like you said, Coach, man. That dude would not come around. He would not let him around us. But that showed me they watch those kids. Those kids are like superstars to the young kids. So it's important how they model. And then we're our players. So our players model what we do. They talk like me. The kids at school be like, all your players talk like you. They always, I'm like, man, that's just the way it works, you know?
Yeah. So, man, as
everybody's watching, somebody's always watching.
To close out with it, man, great conversation. I'm starting to get spoiled by this forum we have here, man. I'm loving this. But one thing, and both of you have already said it, but what I'm gonna do is just give a moment here as we get ready to close, where if there's one word or one thing that you can say that helps keep you grounded for you to share with the coach that's listening. You know, what's that? If it's one word or just one thing that you say, hey, this keeps me grounded during the season, through the highs and the lows and the ups and the downs of family and balance and church and all the things we got going on. What's one word or one thought that keeps you grounded during the season?
I'm going to say impact. And I always say everybody's watching you. Kids, adults, your kids, everybody's watching you. How do you react? How you respond to negativity? How you respond to like success? Because success is tough too. How do you handle success? If you have success, some people can't become a different person.
Okay,
I'm bigger than this. I'm bigger than that. So I always look at, man, everybody's watching, regardless of what you think and your impact. Man, you don't even know how much the impact you is to your community. People just
good.
Man, I mean, I get that a lot. Coach, I like what you're doing. Yep. And I'm like, man, I didn't even know you watched me. And I mean, this person is older than me. It could be older to be my dad.
Yep.
Right.
And that puts stuff in perspective. Like, man, okay, you okay. You know, you walk in the right line, the right path. Even when you think you're not. Coach, y'all lost 3 in a row, man. Y'all was 6 and 10. And you always was, man, holding yourself accountable. Man, we got to figure it out. We're going to figure it out. And, somebody could have been in a situation in life where, things weren't going their way. And they could have been, a little booster for them. So the impact and know everybody's watching you.
Impact and know everybody's watching.
You're a leader.
And for me, it's just remember why you started, man. Remember, keep the main thing. Remember why you started, man. It's about you and those kids. And that's what's important. Everything else is outside noise. Remember why you started. You started to impact these kids. Don't say nothing about winning the state championship with these kids. That's it. Remember why you started. You were supposed to mentor these kids to be great husbands, great brothers, great sons, great community members. Remember why you started.
Yeah, that's good, man. So impact, somebody's always watching. That's heavy. And then Coach Hagans says, remember why you started. This is where I'm gonna throw mine in. I got two thoughts, but I'm gonna share one tonight. Winning habits before winning happens. Now, that ain't just talking about games. If you ever come into a practice with me, you're gonna hear me say habits probably a million times. What I'm doing is, no matter if we won or lost a game, I'm always looking at the details of what it takes. Now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to help those young men when they become husbands and fathers to remember you can't see the details. I watched Coach Collins with his son. He don't know I'm watching him. I'm watching. He said somebody always watching. He has an impact on me. Watching how he handles his son around his players. He has habits with his son when he go with him, how he communicates with them. You know what I'm saying? Where he let them go, where he don't let them go. All that stuff there, those are habits that he's teaching his son. I watch how he interacts with them. You see what I'm saying? So for me, it's winning habits before winning happens. And it's not just talking about the game. It's our day-to-day going, how we come to work, how we leave, how we're in front of these guys, what they're watching. You cannot skip the steps and the details when you're trying to succeed. And nobody has to know what success is for you. Nobody outside of your program. When your players understand, if you win or lose at the end of the season, if you go down with your habits, you succeeded. If you go down or win with your habits, you have succeeded. I can walk away from those seasons that I feel in the quarterfinals with a chance to go to state and still be satisfied because we went down with our habits. The opponent was just better. I don't like winning with bad habits. That burns me up. My wife will tell you, I go nuts that we got a game that we were just a little better than the opponent.
Yep.
We won. Our habits wasn't right.
Yep.
The next day in practice, I'm going crazy.
Yep.
And it's a win. Because I'm like, man, we're not going to win at the highest level with those habits.
Yep.
So impact, somebody's always watching. Coach Hagans on his, remember your why. Why did you get started doing this? And from me, winning habits before winning happens. Well, coaches, man, I thank y'all so much because you don't have to give this time to be along with me, and I appreciate y'all. You know, and I dare not take for granted the time that you all decided to come on. I'm on here every Monday. I won't ask you to be here every Monday, but if you want to, we can keep rocking. So it's however you want to do it. But I'm on here every Monday, and we want to make sure that as we continue to grow and get better, because I'm learning a lot from y'all too. You understand what I'm saying? I'm always a sponge. I always want to be in position of learning, even though I am trying to be impactful on our next generation of coaches. I want to always be learning, and I appreciate y'all for sharing your insight and sharing the things you have. And so we're going to close out. Y'all don't go nowhere. I'm going to take y'all to the backstage. All right. But until next time, y'all be with us here on YouTube, here on the Coaches C.O.D.E channel every Monday, 8 p.m. Central Time. We're gonna close out with a quick word from our sponsor, and we'll see y'all next week at 8. Appreciate y'all. All right.
All right, have a good one, man.
Hey, Coach. Yes, you. First, thank you for tuning in to tonight's show. Before you go, don't forget, everything you need to lead well and last long is waiting for you at my website, eddiejhamilton.com/shop. Devotionals, digital workbooks, tools to build culture, and real strategies to help you navigate coaching, family, and faith. It's all there. So do me a favor, Coach. Click that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and share this with a coach who's ready to lead with purpose. We're in this together. Let's build something that lasts. Hopefully, I'll see you at the next show coming soon. So stay tuned. Have a great day, Coach.